not just a quick little showcase of the mods I'm using. This isn't every single mod that I use. I had some vanity mods and stuff like that in there, but the main important ones that I would want to go over is Fargo's mod and Alchemist mod. These two mods are just very big quality of life mods. I'm pretty sure a majority of people who play Tmod, Loader, or Modatura use Fargo's mod. It's just such a popular mod and such just quality of life. Also, to start with bases there, that's why you'll see this giant base when I start the world. So the first thing to do after going in here, I'm going to explain the bases before I start showing everything. The first thing we're going to get is looking for gems to make a staff, preferably a diamond or a ruby staff, but any staff will do just because it's a good it's a good mage weapon. And also a wand of sparking, and it can be turned into a wand of frosting, which is just a very nice upgrade you can get very early on. Armor wise, there's not really much we can get this early, but we will be going for the wizard hat, the mystic robe, or a diamond robe, and then jungle pants. With the Eye Cthulhu defeated, that leaves us with the next boss being the Eater of Worlds. Now, in the Eater of Worlds, the only weapon we can relatively get from the corruption at this point is the Vile Thorn, which is an amazing weapon to go against him. It literally shreds through him like nothing. The armor is going to stay the same until, I think, Skeletron. Besides that, it's going to be the classic build, which is just either Cloud on the Bottle, Hermes Boots, and pretty much any type of mobility you can get. After defeating Eater Worlds, that gives us the Goblin Army, which I farmed, and it gives us a Meteorite. Now, the Meteorite can give us the Meteor Armor, which is a very, very good armor set. Better than the Jungle Armor, in my opinion, at least on raw damage, and it also lets you use the Space Gun infinitely. Now, it also helps with the Zapinator, which is another gun I'll talk about whenever we get there. But for this playthrough, I'm going with armor mixing, which the Wizard Hat with the Mystic Robe or Diamond Robe and the Meteor Leggings is the best offensive set. Not having any set bonus is a drawback, but gives the most damage out of anything. In this playthrough, I'm just going to be going with the high damage. I want to make this probably like the strongest mage I can do. After killing Wall of Flesh and entering hard mode, the first thing I do is I set out to get the Crystal Serpent, which is a mage weapon that you can get very early on in hard mode by just fishing in the hollow. And I didn't have the footage, but the first thing I did when I logged in was buy the Zapinator from the merchant. Zapinator being a very good upgrade to the Grey Zapinator. This one's orange, my bad. It has a lot of random effects it can do, but it's also just chance, but by far it's probably the best weapon you can get in the start of hard mode if you get lucky enough to get it though. And after this I set out to go kill the Queen Slime. I did forget to mention this, but the first thing I did as well is also get a titanium helmet, and I keep the diamond robe, and I keep the meteor helmet, or not the helmet, the meteor leggings, because it is the best defensive set at the point. Now, after beating the Queen Slime, not for any particular reason or any like armor set or anything like that, just figured that I knock her out. Now, after this, the only thing left is really just to do the mech bosses and then Duke afterwards. Now, I'm not gonna show the whole process of each individual like items I got before each boss fight. I'm just gonna show the boss fights. The only difference is that after defeating twins, I do get the rainbow staff. And that's just like a pretty good weapon that I feel like you should just make. You get it from the dungeon, the prerequisite for it, and then you get the souls from the twins, and then you're able to make it. It's really good. Overall, it's a very good weapon. The armor stays the same. The only difference is that you want to switch to the apprentice clothing if you can from the Tavern Keep, just for armor mixing if you do that. If not, the hollow is completely fine. Now before I go on to the destroyer fight that I'm going to show, I need to talk about this weapon. This is called the Tome of Infinite Wisdom. You get it from doing the Old One's Army, and it has two primary fires. It has a first one and a second one. The second one summons like our tornado, and it absolutely shreds the destroyer. It uses a lot of mana, but it shreds the destroyer. If you can get it, get it. It makes that boss fight so easy. Example right here. I just want you guys to see that health bar go down. This is an early weapon you can get too, but just look at that damage. After fighting the mech bosses, I instantly go to make an arena for Fishron. Now, at this point, the only armor we have is just the apprentice and the hollowed helmet, but if you want more survivability, you can go with the whole hollowed set. The accessories stay pretty much the same: summoner emblem, boots, pretty much all your basic mage stuff, mana flower, all that shit. And one mount that I recommend a lot is the Slime Queen mount. Now, I feel like with the Slime Queen mount, it makes pre-mech Duke super easy. Like this, the mobility it gives you is just amazing for how early you can get it. The weapons stay the same, the rainbow staff, and then the zap emitter. After defeating Duke, we get really lucky and get the Razorblade Typhoon. The Razorblade Typhoon is such a good weapon. It's such a good mage weapon. The tracking's amazing. It can be used pretty much till the endgame if you really want. But the bubble gun is better, but it is also more riskier. And there's other weapons like the Blizzard Staff and the Razor Pine and stuff like that. And maybe like the Night Glow. But for now, this is a huge progress step right here. Now after fitting Plantera, all we have to do is go farm some Spectre armor, and that will pretty much be our full set. You can either swap between the Spectre mask or the Spectre helmet, depending on whether you want healing or just more damage. It's recommended to use both, but you know, in this playthrough I only just use one. After Empress of Light and Golem is down, the only thing we have left to do is either do Cultist and then Moonlord. and the builders. I should have said this backwards. Now the really recommended weapons are the Blizzard Staff and the Razor Pine, alongside with the Bubble Gun and the Night Glow. Now the Blizzard Staff and the Razor Pine are just the best for those fights and in general, but for me I'm just going to be using the Bubble Gun and the Night Glow just because they're easier to get, and I like using them a lot better. The armor stays the same, and if you want an armor mix you can use the Spectre Mask and the Dark Artist armor set below it, and that's about it really. Try to get your hand on wings, better wings if you can. Just the standard damage accessories, Celestial, Sorcerer, Avenger, all that stuff. That's about it. And with that, that's my entire Mage playthrough. That was pretty much my simplified version of what happened. This video was definitely a lot shorter than my Summoner video. This Mage definitely has a way easier progression tree than Summoner for sure. This is actually my shortest playthrough I've had on this game. I think my Summoner took me, 2 days, and this one only took me 1. I was actually very shocked on how fun this class was. I haven't played Mage in a long time, so it was pretty nice getting there, trying it out and everything like that. But thanks for watching if you made it this far, you know. I tried making this a lot shorter than I did last time, you know, try to make it not as boring. But if it does well, you know, melee or range is coming up soon. Maybe, I don't know. You know, it's maybe, I don't know. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching.